Is that a firearm under your jacket? Don't reach for it, just answer it. I don't know. I'm asking if it's a firearm, so if you reach for it, we have issues.
Yes, it is.
Okay, don't ever reach for it, okay?
Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we head to Oregon for yet another right to travel fail and arrest. These videos are coming thick and fast at the moment that I can hardly keep up. But here we are with another soft-sit attempting the script with a suspended licence, no registration and no insurance. Oh, and carrying a concealed firearm without a permit, which is illegal in Oregon. All this in a truck that probably shouldn't be anywhere near a road. Right, let's get into the video.
Hi there.
Yep.
Hey, I'm Officer Kennedy, Myrtle Creek Police. Our conversation's being recorded, okay?
Yes, it is.
The reason for the stop today is that unregistered tags are expired. Do you have your license on now? Is that a firearm under your jacket? Don't reach for it, just answer it. I don't know. I'm asking if it's a firearm, so if you reach for it, we have issues.
It is.
Okay, don't ever reach for it, okay?
Wow, he asks if she has a firearm, and the first thing she does is reach for it when he tells her not to. I'm from the UK, and even I know that's one of the dumbest moves you can make.
Okay. Will you do me a favor? I'd like to remove that from you.
I would rather remove it myself.
Okay, you're not going to do that. You're not going to put a firearm in your mouth. Okay, so just hear me out. Stop talking. Just let me explain, okay? It's for my safety. I don't mean any harm to you.
Excuse me, but it's about my safety.
Okay, I'm not going to hurt you, nor am I putting off an intimidating
Well, I'm not going to
listen.
hurt you.
This is what I would like to do, okay? All I would like you to do is cross your fingers like this, put your hand on your head, and I'd like to just grab it and take it out. I'm not going to seize it or anything.
No, I do not want my weapon outside of my vehicle.
Where's your ID?
I do not want my weapon outside of the vehicle.
Where is your
I
ID?
am willing to put my weapon on the dash so that you can clearly see it.
Do not touch that gun.
Fine.
Okay.
Then it'll
I'll tell you
where
what.
it's at.
Put the paperwork on the dash for me. Put the paperwork on the dash.
Why?
Because I'm telling you to, and it's a lawful order. Put the paperwork on the dash now, and put your hands on the steering wheel and don't move them. Okay? You're being confrontational. You have a firearm. We're not going to play that game. I'm going to get your name, date of birth, and I'm going to continue my traffic stop. Do you understand that?
I think I'll just plead the fifth.
That's fine. I recommend that. Well, if you're not going to plead the fifth, you're going to need to present me with an ID. Can you point to where your ID is?
No, sir. You told me to put my hands on the steering wheel.
But you told me you were going to plead the fifth, which means you're not going to talk anymore. Okay, if you're not going to talk, you can't tell me your name and your date of birth. Does that make sense?
Well, it does make sense, but she's not going to let a little thing like common sense creep into this traffic stop now, is she? And what is it about soft-sits pleading the Fifth Amendment when they have no intention of shutting up?
So, will you tell me your name and date of birth?
Not until I present this paperwork.
Okay. 3216. Can I get another unit? I'm going to get my chief down here for you.
Okay.
Keep your hands right where they're at.
I will keep them there as long as I can.
Okay. Perfect. They need to remain there and your hand needs to stay away from that.
And I already told you, I will keep them there as long as I can. This is not exactly a comfortable position.
Well, you put yourself into this position by refusing to hand over your firearm, lady. And if you find holding your steering wheel with both hands uncomfortable, then maybe driving's not for you.
Not yet. Female's verbally uncooperative.
I am not uncooperative. I am simply answering you without mine.
Not at this time.
See, you guys always do that. You guys always make something up that isn't there.
What did I make up today, ma'am?
You're saying I'm being confrontational. I'm not being confrontational.
Okay, maybe let me use a different word. Argumentative.
Well, maybe argumentative, but I'd say so are you, because you're not getting everything you want exactly when you want it.
So he was right to call for backup then. Glad we've got that one sorted out.
Yeah, because I gotta survive every contact, and
I'm
gonna get what I want when there's a firearm involved.
You know what?
It's gonna happen.
I'm sorry, but it's the police that have proved themselves to be unreliable.
Oh yeah? Have you ever met me before?
Yes, I have.
You've met me. Where did you meet me?
Matter of fact, really doesn't matter.
Okay, so you haven't met me, so therefore you have no idea whether I'm reliable or not.
All I know is you're wearing a monkey suit.
A monkey suit? I believe it's a police uniform and a badge. But that's fine. I get what you're trying to do. You're mad at the badge, not at me. I'm just trying to go home every day.
I don't trust the badge.
Okay.
So basically, you're generalizing. That's a really bad habit to get into. It pretty much makes you hateful towards people you don't even know and have never met.
Okay, you don't have to trust me, but not that I don't trust you, I can't trust you because I don't know you. Okay, I stop hundreds, possibly thousands of people every year, and I have to survive each of those contacts for a duration of 25 years. Okay?
I understand that.
I know how to do that, and I know how I want people to react if they do have a firearm, and so that's what I go off of, okay?
And I was willing to compromise with you, but you're not willing to compromise. You want it your way.
What is the compromise?
I am willing to put it on the dash, or even to allow you to put it on the dash. I would
like to do that.
Willing to allow you to remove it from my vehicle.
Okay. I can work with you on that a little bit. If I'm going to put it on your dash, I'm going to unload it first.
That's fine.
Okay. Will you put your hands on your head with your fingers crossed so I can remove it from you? Thank you. I appreciate that. Any other firearms with you?
No.
Okay.
Can I put my hands down now?
Yes, ma'am. If you could keep them at least visible, that would be wonderful.
Now, can I begin going over this paperwork with me that you're going to thoroughly disagree with me on anyway?
I'm not saying I'm going to disagree with you. It may be legitimate, okay?
It is legitimate.
Okay.
No, it's not legitimate. No one needs that amount of paperwork for a traffic stop. All you need to produce is your valid license, registration and insurance, which I'm certain you are going to struggle to produce.
Okay, well that's fine. Once I get this done, we'll move on with the rest of the stop.
It would have been a lot easier just to push the wheel.
You don't get to decide how things go. Okay, I'm all about respecting you and trying to work with you.
I was trying to be helpful.
You were not. I was asking you to do something, and you were refusing to.
I was talking about with getting the bullets out of the gun. I was just trying. It would have been easier and faster to get the bullets out if you'd have pushed the release.
Okay.
That's all I was trying to say.
Before that.
And things would have gone easier and quicker had you just given him your firearm when he asked for it. But you had to play your silly games.
I was giving you a lawful order, and you were refusing to obey that. For personal feelings, I understand that. You did not prefer it that way. But there's times during a traffic stop or an interaction with police, you have to set your personal opinion or feelings aside to obey a lawful order.
You agreed to put my weapon on my dash.
Afterwards.
No.
Correct.
You
After I told you
to put my weapon.
Okay, we're going to stop this. I'm going to wait for the
dash.
chief. We'll go from there. I'm going to put it on the dash now. You need to not reach for it, and I'm going to put it on that side. Will you roll that window down?
I have to turn.
Just turn it to the on. Yeah, accelerator on. That's fine.
Wow, just look at the state of this truck. No hood and all those sharp edges to nick yourself on as you pass by. And yes, apparently driving without a hood is illegal in Oregon, but an unroadworthy truck is the least of her problems right now.
Actually, I'm gonna hold it here until the chief's here. Okay, where's your identification at?
I will just wait for your chief.
Fine with me. Ma'am, is there a reason you're being difficult? I'm trying to give you every opportunity to...
Quite honestly, I don't feel like repeating myself. And if I go through all this with you, then I have to go over it yet again with the chief.
Okay.
I don't feel like repeating myself.
Okay.
So, I am not refusing to identify. I am simply requesting that you take into account that there's more to it than maybe even what you know.
If there was something more to know about his job, then he would not be hearing it for the first time on the side of the road from somebody driving a truck in this state. Trust me.
I know, you're an officer and you think you know all the laws. Sorry, but nobody knows all the laws.
I've never claimed to.
I would certainly hope not, because I feel bad for anybody that has to...
So...
Okay, so this is where the chief arrives, and as he's the chief, this is obviously not his first rodeo when dealing with soft sits.
So, Chief, will you roll that window down for the chief so he can hear everything that's being said? So I have the firearm now, it's clear from her. So, essentially, approached, I know she had the firearm on her hip, not a big deal. I asked her if it was a firearm that she'd point at it or tell me instead of reaching it. She reached for it. Anyway, I asked her to put her hands on her head so I could remove it from her and take it back to my vehicle to secure it during the rest of the stop because she's mildly argumentative. She refused to do that. We ended up coming to a compromise. She let me take it off her and unload it. So it's been a bit of a confrontation. I've asked her for a license multiple times. She said she wouldn't give it until you got here, so that's where we're at. So can I have your license?
I don't want to repeat myself.
Okay, can I have your license, please?
Just real quick, man, just so you know, my name's Chief Bruce. You know I got my camera going too, so this is recording, okay?
Okay. I've got my camera recording as well.
Okay.
Now, as I told you before I relinquish my information, I am going to go over this paperwork.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay?
Your paperwork is garbage, lady. We all know it, and luckily the chief knows it too, and calls her out on it before she even has the chance to get past the first page.
So, as you're asking me for my driver's license, I do want you to know that the right of the citizen to travel upon the public highways and to transport his property thereon by horse-drawn carriage, wagon, or automobile is not a mere privilege which may be permitted or prohibited at will, but a common right which he has under his right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Under this constitutional guarantee, one may, therefore, under normal conditions, travel at his inclination along the public highways or in public places, and while conducting himself in an orderly and decent manner, neither interfering with nor disturbing another's rights. He will be protected, not only in his person, but in his safe conduct. And I can give you where to find that if you would like.
And we don't need to. The U.S. Supreme Court has already squashed that, so...
No, the U.S. Supreme Court has not.
Yes, they have. And you do have a right to travel. You have a right to travel by your feet or your horse, but you have to have a driver's license.
No, you do not.
Okay.
And the chief is spot on. The US Supreme Court has never ruled that a driver's license is unconstitutional. In fact, they have ruled time and time again that the right to travel does not include the right to operate a motor vehicle on a public road without the proper credentials, whether it's commercial or not. Instead of reading from cherry-picked court cases from crap you've downloaded from the internet, you should maybe go read the 10th Amendment, because it allows each state the right to implement traffic laws how they see fit. But to her credit, she does produce her license. Well, kind of, even though it's suspended.
Okay, we can argue this later, so you need to provide the officer with your driver's license or you will be arrested for failure to carry and present.
For what crime?
Failed to carry and present a driver's license. That's a Class C misdemeanor in the state of Oregon.
Without a crime, it is not a failure.
So you have to let go of it. You have to
Why
present it to him.
Why do I have to let go of it?
An even better question to ask is, why do you have to be so insufferable? Just hand over your license.
I presented it. You can see it.
Do you have a concealed handgun license with you?
No,
Okay. Do you have insurance for the vehicle?
not required.
Okay.
Good. Whether you feel it's required or not, do you have insurance information? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. Do you have registration information? Whether it's required in your opinion or not, do you have...
I don't know if it's here in the car or not.
Okay, so you just don't know. Okay, that's fine. I'll be back.
Translation, she doesn't have the car registered, and why would she? Take a look at the state of it. It probably shouldn't even be on the road. They'd be doing her and the people of Oregon a favour by towing it away. Plus, she has no concealed carry licence, no insurance, and probably no registration either. So she's doing really well.
Gina, this is the deal, okay? You need to step out of the vehicle because you're being placed under arrest for carrying a concealed firearm.
You're placing me under arrest for a concealed firearm.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Can I ask what led you to that decision?
Okay, well, you're carrying a concealed firearm, and that's a crime in Oregon.
Ma'am, do you recall I asked you if that was a gun underneath your jacket?
And I said yes.
Okay, so by me not being able to tell whether it was a gun or not, it was not in open plain view, right? Okay, so it would have been concealed if I can't tell that it's a gun.
You could obviously see the butt of it.
If you got your sweatshirt covering that gun, it's concealed. An open carry is open carry. Nothing obstructing the firearm or the holster that it's in.
So had it been on the dash or like flat on the passenger seat,
Or had it been on your side without a sweatshirt covering it, that's not concealed. But you have it under
So
clothing,
now
that's
you guys
concealed.
want to nitpick.
Nothing about the law surrounding guns is nitpicking, especially in this instant. Like he said, the officer had to ask you if you were carrying because the firearm wasn't in view. That's the opposite of nitpicking.
and additionally, it's also a crime to present me with a driver's license knowing that it's suspended. I see you were convicted of driving while suspended in December, late December of 2021, which was only a few months ago. Additionally, you haven't been reinstated at all since then, so there's a pretty good inclination that you knew you were suspended and knew that license was not valid. That's also a crime in the state of Oregon.
You're making assumptions.
No, that's...
You're making assumptions.
Oh, as far as your knowledge
you're
of that?
assuming whether I knew or did not know.
Right, I never said I knew for a fact. Okay? I'm not in your mind, I can't know that. But there's pretty good evidence to show that you likely knew. But additionally from that, for the concealed firearm, yes, you are under arrest. So we just need you to step out. We don't want it to be incident or anything. Just ask you to step out and face the panel up there for us, please.
So maybe like I explained to you, this isn't the place to argue it. That just makes things worse. That's why there's court.
Yeah, you guys looked for the most petty thing that you could to arrest me for.
Okay, well we didn't.
And
we didn't
I'm
look
willing
for
to bet that in the process, you guys have got a whole lot of other things going on. So before we jump to that, I'd like to know what I was pulled over for.
I told you were stopped for expired tags. Okay, additionally, the registered owner of the vehicle is suspended. It appeared to look similar to you based off the picture I pulled up before I stopped you. But in and of itself, I can stop you if the registered owner of the vehicle is suspended and the description would match. Additionally, you have a light housing on the back here that's broken. I didn't notify you that that's why I stopped you, because I was primarily just stopping you for the tags. But I mean, we can point at things, but I don't want to nitpick with you. I don't want to argue with you. Okay, this is kind of what we're going to do. You're obviously very familiar with the courts. You referenced the Supreme Court earlier in the stop. Okay, so you know that that's the place to argue this stuff. So at this point, that's why you're under arrest. Okay, so we're going to ask that you step out. We don't want an argument with you. We don't want any altercation.
My car.
So your car, so you were convicted of driving while suspended recently. So
you have no insurance on the vehicle.
You guys have
So-
no legal right to tell it.
Okay, again, you can argue that in court.
But I'm talking to you now.
Okay, this isn't the place for these arguments, okay, ma'am? So I'm going to ask you to go ahead and step out of the vehicle, and if you refuse
I will
to...
step
okay,
out of the vehicle. However, the U.S. Supreme Court has already ruled that a vehicle is a household effect.
okay,
Therefore, you have no right to tow it.
okay. Again, you can argue that in court. You can argue that, you can file lawsuits, you can do what you like.
So,
Okay.
in other words, what you're saying is that you don't
That's
care
fine. Get him on the camera.
that you are stomping all over my constitution.
What I care about is this is my job, okay? I am educated, I'm informed, and I get the training on laws and court rulings.
But that does
okay?
not mean that you know all the laws.
Okay.
And that does not mean that you are kept up to date
Right.
on the U.S. Supreme Court's rulings.
Right.
And this is the problem with listening to people like Freedom from Government and Here's the Deal. And yes, I checked, she subscribed to both of these channels who consistently put out false and misleading information on the right to travel. And people like this are listening and hanging on their every word and then taking this false information and using it in the real world where it has real world consequences. It's disgusting.
So I'm pretty kept up to date. And again,
I've
if
done my
I'm
research.
wrong, I'll eat crow later, okay? But this isn't the
Eating
place
crow
for it.
later is not going to help me.
Okay, well it might. So go ahead, ma'am. Go ahead and step out of the
In the
vehicle. You are under
meantime,
arrest.
you guys are taking something that you have no legal right to take.
Again, not the place for the argument.
I have not even said that I'm going to tow it yet, but we need you to step out now so we can get you in custody safely, and then we'll go from there. So please face that way. Please face that way and put your hands behind your back.
Ow!
Okay. Okay.
Would you
Do
please
you need
be
2 sets of
gentle?
cuffs?
I have a right shoulder injury.
Okay.
So
Chief, will
please
you hold
be
this
gentle.
arm? We'll put 2 sets of cuffs on you.
And please don't.
We'll do our very best. I'm only limited by these 2 cuffs.
Too high.
It'd be a little better if you were able to hold a little more still.
Well, I'm sorry that I'm not standing still enough for you. I'm a little bit scared.
Okay. Let me check the tightness on this one.
Real quick, ma'am,
One of
you
these
do have the
lists
right
has
to remain
gotta be
silent. Anything you say can't be used against the court of law. You have the right not to carry present order being questioned. If you're not power to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you at no expense. Do you understand those rights, ma'am?
I'm going to double lock these just so they don't tighten up anymore on you. Okay, man. I'll have you walk back this way with me. To the front of my car here.
Okay, I know you say you're pleading the fifth, but do you have someone who is a licensed, valid driver who can come take control of your vehicle within a reasonable amount of time, which would be within the next 20 minutes or so?
Bryson,
Bryson.
his neighbor.
Okay. And are you still living at the Candyville address? It's on your license? I'm only asking because I'm trying to think about how long it's going to take somebody to get here.
Yes, I live in Candyville.
Okay. Would you like to call Bryson to see if he can come get your
I
vehicle?
would appreciate it.
So she gets arrested and taken to jail, but instead of towing her truck, they bend over backwards for her by allowing her to call a licensed family member or friend to collect the truck. The police even wait around 20 minutes for them to arrive. Anyway, I've uploaded the full unedited body cam footage from both officers onto my second channel for anyone who would like to see the traffic stop in full, because I did cut out a lot of what I thought was unnecessary. Plus, I didn't want the video to be an hour long. The link to those videos will be in the description. Right, thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, then please leave a like, share the video and subscribe to the channel. And if you would like to support my work, then please consider becoming either a channel member or a patron, or you can now leave me a super thanks. Thank you also to my current members and patrons for your continued support. It really does mean everything. Right, take care all, and I will catch you in the next video.